thought the Express would bring salvation. But it will only bring about annihilation once more. Where the Tower of Infinity slumbered. The place from which the Express set off once more. Or, as I frequently call it, where repeated mistakes begin. So, how does it feel being back on old stomping grounds?
It's just a shame you are my traveling companion.
Better traveling with me than traveling alone. The blood-stained games have no winners. You imaginated your Mechatrons, but the remaining wish power can't create the audience, much less support a long journey. Leading us to the third question. How exactly did you cure the weathering curse?
You're still beating around the bush? Even now?
Have I ever deviated from the topic at hand?
3 blanks, corresponding to 3 secrets. They seem to point to me, but they really just conceal your true intentions. Who left the Star Blazers' blueprints on the Express? Who met Himiko and Motoko here? How did they cure the irreversible weathering curse? You have many questions, but none about your so-called daughter. Your real interest is in Aha. The truth from 15 years ago is key to figuring out when the Phantasmoon games are compromised, what form they will descend in, and how they plan to intervene.
So, I guessed right. They appeared and ignited the Astral Express.
Stop. The game's over then. You set the rules. A secret for a secret.
You didn't take my trump card.
Yes, but I took mine. Unfortunately, I wasn't the one who met Aha. The answer you were looking for never existed. That's what they said when they gave me the gift.
Let's just call it, a long overdue compensation. but a long overdue compensation.
Lost in thought again. You beat the Herald of Death, but you're not happy. I'm not sure how to put it. Because I'm leaving soon. Once the Express reignites and takes off, there won't be any wish power in the vacuum. And Imagine will die out. This is the best outcome. But if I just set off like this, I know it'll haunt my dreams forever. Thinking back on it, my dream was built on someone else's sacrifice. If you feel scared, just look up. Up there are the same stars we gazed at together for countless nights. You'll see all those sights in my stead and experience all those stories as wonderful and strange as Imagine. You've known all along, haven't you? So be brave and stop this talk about sacrifices. I give my life to conquer the land that trapped us here. You have to go alone, dummy. What did you say when you created me? I quote, "If I die, I want to die where the stars are within reach." This moon is full again. I will be there as I have promised.
「私に贈り物を渡してくれたとき、ソはこう言ったの。
遅くなったね。埋め合わせだと思って受け取って。
どうしたの？ぼーっとしちゃって。失ゲ魔を倒したのに、あんまり嬉しそうじゃないわね。なんて言えばいいかわからなくて。もうすぐ私が行っちゃうから、列 列車に乗ってもどのみち眼力のない宇宙で現像種は存在できない。だからこれでいいの。むしろこれが一番いい結果なのよ。でもそんな、このまま旅立ったら私きっといつか夢から目を覚ます時が来ちゃう。今日のことを思い出すたびに自分の夢は他の誰かの犠牲の上に成り立ってるんだってうなされるわ。怖くなったら空を見上げればいいわ。そこには幾千もの夜、私たちが一緒に見上げてきた星々が変わらず輝いてるから。私の代わりに行って見たこともない景色を目撃して、まるで現像のような不可思議な物語を描いて、それにいつかこうなるって前から分かってたでしょ。なら勇気を出さないと。犠牲だなんてもう言わないで。だって私は自分の命で私たちを縛り付けてた大地に打ち勝ったのよ。バカね。ここからは一人で旅立たなきゃいけないのに、私を作ったあの日こう言ってたじゃない。たとえ死ぬとしても星空にもっと近い場所で死にたいって。次に幻月が満ちるとき必ず約束を果たすわ。物語をいっぱい抱えて聞かせに帰ってくるから。約束よ。もし私を見つけられなかったら弔い霊人みたいにお月様に聞かせてあげてちょうだい。私に贈り物を渡してくれた時、月の影はこう言ったの。
This moon is full again. I will be there as I have promised. I will come back with so many stories to tell you. So, deal? If you can't find me to share your stories, then tell them to the moon. Like a morning actor. The moon's shadow said this while giving me my gift. Let's just call it a long overdue compensation. It's time we set off once more, Akivili.
So, it was the self-portrait that saw Aha. You placed a bet with a fake chip?
You call it a challenge, but it's really just a waste of time for you.
This is a blow, I have to admit. Just a little one, but a blow. Though, if you don't have the answer, then I can execute destruction without a shred of guilt.
You're wrong again. This little test was your last chance to find your way back.
Interesting. You were giving me a chance.
Even after falling so far as to become a Lord Ravager, I still wished to give the former navigator a chance to turn back. But this journey has convinced me. You are not some wayward nameless. You are just another enemy trying to dishonor the Express. And to enemies, I only respond in one way.
Destroy me? Could you really?
I saw right through your tricks, Lord Ravager. You summoned the apocalypse, and transformed 1,000 times, and created scenes from the past to confuse me. But in the end, you just use reality as a canvas to imaginate the uncertain into truth. You used people's wish power to imaginate that impending future born of their fears. And using the same trick, you imaginated versions of yourself that could exist in different places. But when another possibility is observed by others, it crushes the imaginated lie, and your ability loses its effect instantly.
And what will you do about it? Stuck as you are in the world in canvas. Even if you summon the feeble star blazer and do your best to crash into the space, you will never escape.
Escape? Who said anything about escaping? Gravity does not only trap people on the ground, it also drags the stars toward each other. Have you, a former navigator, really forgotten the nameless distress signal? How they use massive collisions to simulate the gravity wave frequency used by the Express to warp jump? Not even imaginated spaces can block out a signal like that. My companions have known your secret for a while, In a minute or so, you might see your scheme start to fall apart. Or is it seconds, not minutes?
「つまりアッハにあったのが肖像画の方だったと？あんたは偽のチップを掛け金にしてテーブルについたのか？」
挑戦なんて言いはしたけど、あんたにとってはただの時間の無駄だったってことよ。
認めよう。ほんの少しとはいえ確かにショックだ。だが答えがあんたの中にないなら俺も遠慮なく壊滅を実行できるな。
勘違いしてるみたいね。この探り合いはあんたが引き返すための最後のチャンスだったの。
はあ、面白い。あんたがチャンスをくれるってことか？この俺に。
たとえ絶滅大軍に落ちたとしても元ナビゲーターであることは変わらない。だから改心するチャンスをあげたかったのよ。でもこれまでのやりとりで確信したわ。あんたは道を踏み外した七死人なんかじゃない。ただの列車に泥を塗る敵よ。敵を前にやることはただ一つ。
俺を壊滅させるってか？そんなことできるのかよ。
あんたの手品はもう見抜いてるわ、絶滅大君。世界を終末に陥れ、無数の分身を作り、過去の光景を見せて私を惑わせる。でも結局のところ、どれも種は同じ。あんたの能力は現実をキャンバスにしてまだ確定してない可能性を現像することよ。人々の眼力を使って彼らが恐れる、訪れるかもしれない未来を作り出したの。そして同じ手法で別の場所に存在しうる自分を現像した。でも別の可能性が誰かに観測され、現像の嘘が暴かれた瞬間、あんたの能力は効果を失う。
へえ、なら教えてくれ。絵の世界に閉じ込められたあんたはどうするつもりだ？不完全な星を開くものを呼び出し、必死に空間に体当たりさせたところで、ここから逃げ出すのは不可能だってのに。
逃げる？誰が逃げると言ったかしら？重力は人々を大地に縛るだけでなく、星と星を引き寄せる力でもあるわ。元ナビゲーターのくせに七死人の救援要請の方法も忘れてしまったの？質量の大きなものが衝突することによって列車が跳躍する際の重力波の周波数を再現する。たとえ現像の空間であってもその特殊な信号までは遮れないはずよ。あんたの秘密はもう仲間たちにも伝わってるわ。もしかしたらあと1分もしないうちにその野望は砕かれるかもしれないわね。あるいは1秒後か。
やるな。だがその癖は直した方がいい。ナビゲーターのくせにいつも最悪の状況に一人で立ち向かってるのか？さて俺らのゲームもそろそろ終わりだが、当ててみてくれ。俺があと何人に同じゲームを用意してるか。
Oh, nicely done. But you have a really terrible habit. Does becoming a navigator mean always facing danger on your own? Well, since this game of ours is ending soon, can you guess how many people I have lined up to play the same game? Go on. You have one chance to guess the answer. The probability of you stopping me is 0.
What exactly are you planning to do?
Who says the great destroyer of Elation came to Plain Arcadia to kill Aha? You are not my target. They are not my target. Shall I officially announce my plan? In the name of Terminus, her journey ends here.
Ignite the Express's engine is definitely a tad too dramatic if Himiko just wants us to rescue survivors with the Express.
What was she implying?
If Assad Pramod was close by, then he would have discovered any clues Himiko left behind.
So, her message seems pretty standard. But only we'll know what she really means because we're the Nameless?
Something about the engine of the Express? Has Himiko mentioned something of this sort in previous journeys? This may be the key.
Well, I kind of zone out whenever Himiko starts talking about warps and calibrating coordinates and all that. Power of remembrance, activate! Aha! I remember now. We were back in Penacony, talking about the Charmony Festival, and Himiko said the family sent a music box as an invitation, and then she said...
But the box that was sent to us was slightly unusual. The music it played had off-key notes in the background. I recorded these dissonant notes, and they were a perfect match with the gravity wave frequency when the Express made its warp jump. Also, the Express engine's spatial curvature was its encryption key.
A distress call method regularly used by the Nameless.
I remember now. Pearl said something similar not too long ago.
A conflict broke out between Miss Himiko and an entity suspected to be Assad Pramod. A gravitational wave effect caused by a giant mass was observed.
Himiko is hinting that we should use the gravity probe on the Express to receive her signal.
That's exactly
If that's the case, we need to get ready as soon as possible.
It'll take some time to clear the passage to the Express. Sunday, do you have a way to contact the conductor?
The distance does not pose a problem for tuning. However, my birds must first lock on to the conductor as their target. I will do my best. Please, excuse me for a moment.
ただ列車を起動して救助するだけならわざわざエンジンをかけとは言わないはずだ。
うちらに何かヒントを伝えようとしてたってこと？
貴弱が目の前にいたなら姫子が口にしたことは全部貴弱にも聞かれてたことになる。つまり姫子はきっと何気ない言葉の中にヒントを残したはず。七死人だけが気づくような。
列車のエンジン。これまでの旅で姫子さんがそれについて口にした言葉の中にこの謎の鍵があるんじゃないか。
姫子はよく跳躍がどうとか座標の調整がこうとか話してたと思うけど、いっつも聞き流しちゃってたんだよね。記憶の力なんとかして。あ、そういえばピノコニーであの時調和セレモニーについて話してる最中、姫子はこんな風に言ってなかった？ファミリーから届いた招待状はオルゴールで、それから。
でも私たちの手元に届いた招待状は少しおかしくて、再生される音楽の後ろにいくつかの不協和音が混ざっていたのよ。その雑音をダビングしたら列車が跳躍する時の重力波の周波数と完全に一致したの。そして列車のエンジンの空間極率をシークレットキーにしたところ、さっきの一文が得られたってわけ。
七死人がよく使う救援要請の手段だな。
私も思い出した。ちょっと前にパールが同じような言葉を口にしてた。
姫子さんは貴弱と推定される存在と交戦を開始。ほぼ同時に同座標を中心とした巨大質量による重力波の反応が観測されています。
そうか。姫子は俺たちに列車の重力波単身で彼女からの信号を受け取るようにと言いたかったんだな。
これで全部つながったね。
なら俺たちは今すぐ準備をしなくては。
通路を確保するにはまだ時間がかかる。サンデー、直接車掌に連絡できないか。
この距離であれば調律の使用自体は可能でしょう。ですがそのためにはまず私の鳥が車掌さんを捕捉する必要があります。少々時間をいただけますか。できる限りやってみましょう。
美月、お前の真の力を見せる時だ。
Let me open my senses.
Just look. No matter how chaotic things get out there, there's still this little bunch of furbos cheering you on without a second thought. You won't let your readers down, will you, little raccoon? Oh.
安定の瞳はせわしなく辺りを見回している。表情こそ変わらないが、その呼吸はいつもより 0.3 秒ほど速い。そう、彼は心配なのだ。
心配？まさか。
言葉ではそう言いながらも、彼は心配でたまらないようだった。危険な道に踏み込もうとしているあのラクーンのこと、そしてこれから災いに飲み込まれようとしているこの町の生存者たちのことが。
待った待った。語り部君、暇ならここを掘るのに手を貸してくれないか。
The detective's eyes take in everything. His face is inscrutable, though the rate of his respiration is tellingly 0.3 seconds above normal. By all indications, he is uneasy.
Uneasy? Who?
The source of his unease is the little raccoon's imminent departure on a mortal journey, and the survivors of the disaster that befell this city.
All right, Mr. N, that'll do. You seem to have time on your hands. Help me clear this passage.
900 credits an hour plus 2 bananas does not cover this task, Mr. Ashvale.
時給900信用ポイントとバナナ2本ではそのような重労働には対応できかねます、品津様。
じゃあおしゃべりは終わりにしてパトロールを頼むよ。探偵が忙しく手を動かしてるんだ。助手にはしっかり現場の様子を見張っててもらわないと。
Shut your mouth then. Go on patrol. As a detective's assistant, your job is to keep an eye on everything when the detective is otherwise occupied.
The detectives are
uneasy.
The saw.
All right.
9.
I received a message that Silverwolf has arrived at Pearlux Tower. Together with Pearl, she'll repair the communication systems across Plain Arcadia. Then, with Graphia's assistance, they'll attempt to reenact the ritual from a millennium ago, folding all of Plain Arcadia back into the canvas. The most extreme measure of protection. How's the situation here? Very good. Go ahead and do your part. As for the rest, leave it to me. Go ahead and do your...
お前はなすべきことをなせ。こちらのことは俺に任せろ。
皆さん、車掌さんの無事が確認できました。私の鳥が車掌さんを見つけました。あちらの視界も共有できます。車掌さんにこちらの状況をお伝えします。しばしお待ちを。どうだ？車掌さんが微弱な重力波信号を検出し、現在解析中のようです。
みんな無事なんじゃない？ほっとしたぞ。車掌さん、うちらもずっと会いたかったんだから。姫子からのメッセージを解読した。早速みんなにも伝えよう。
人々の恐怖を利用して未来の可能性を現像するのが鬼弱の能力。別の可能性が観測されればこの週末は上書きできるはずだそうじゃ。それからもう一つ、七死人のみんな、次の駅へ旅立つ時、私たちの中の誰一人として欠けていてはダメよと。これは車掌の俺も全く同じ気持ちじゃ。
つまり鬼弱は可能性を観測でき、そしてそれを実際に現像できる絶滅対空ということか。
なるほど、攻撃が当たらないわけだな。
この廃墟の存在にもこれで説明がつく。絶滅対空の降臨を目の当たりにしたことによる恐怖や絶望、さまざまな終末の到来のイメージ、それらが人々の心を覆い尽くしたことで、このような廃墟に存在の可能性が生まれてしまったんだろう。
この週末を変えるには別の可能性を観測すればいいって姫子は言ってたけど、それって具体的にどうすればいいのかな。
一番簡単なのは人々の目の前で鬼弱を倒してみせること。でも攻撃を当てることさえ難しい相手が分身を無数に用意して身を隠しているとなれば、きっとそれも含めた全てが彼が可能性を操って仕掛けたトリックなのね。
じゃああのサイコロ頭には手出しできないってこと？いい
え、まだ手はある。鬼弱の可能性全てを見渡せたなら、それを観測することで彼の存在を一つに収束させられるはずだったら、私は楽園の各地に配置しておいた自運を起動して低級の異例、自臨天地明王にご開眼いただこうじゃない。
将軍、火花大会の時のようにまたお手伝いできることはありますか？
未来を占うという行為は繰り返せばそれだけ混沌とした未来をある一つの結末へ収束させることになる。それがどんなに望まぬ結末であったとしても。漢字財眼は私の目の届く範囲を超えてこの世界を見渡し、自臨天地明王は1秒に100億回もの速さで人々の未来を占う。そうね、ぜひお願い。それじゃあサンデーさんは調律の範囲を全力で広げてもらえるかしら。
観測によって鬼弱の未来を固定するおつもりですか？しかし私の記憶が正しければ、あなたの観測範囲が広がることはそのままこの世界の運命を固定することにつながってしまうのではありませんか？
観測ね。そこは彼女に任せましょう。私の目となって代わりに見てほしいの。鬼弱が現像した強運が現実に迫り、未来の可能性が絶たれた今、自由に選択を下して私たちのために未来への道を描くことのできる強力な観測者は君だけ。自由の君だけよ。あとは広い視野を確保できる場所が必要ね。例えば高い塔の上とか。
将軍、この計画勝算はどのくらいあるんだ？
たとえ成功の確率がほんのわずかしかなかったとしても、そこに私が加わった時点でその成功率は10割に達したと、そうみなすのよ。
とえ成功率がほんのわずかしかなくても、私はあんたと一緒に戦う。
ではお二人を調律でつなぐために全力を尽くしましょう。
My bird has located them. I am able to share what the conductor is seeing. A moment, please, while I inform them of the situation.
Any progress?
Yes. The conductor says they have locked on to a weak gravitational wave and are decoding it.
Pom-Pom sure is glad that everybody's okay!
Conductor! Oh, we missed you too.
Pom-Pom received Himiko's message. Repeating it now. The source of Asat Kramad's power is fear. He exploits people's fears to imaginate future possibilities. When another possibility is observed, this apocalypse will be overwritten. And also, each and every one of us nameless is making it to the next stop. This part is the conductor's heartfelt wish.
So, Asat Pramad is a Lord Ravager that observes and imaginates possibilities.
That explains why I could never land a blow on him.
When people saw the Lord Ravager's descent, they were gripped with fear, despair, and everything else that comes with an apocalyptic end. Those very emotions fed this catastrophe and made a possibility become reality.
Himiko said we need to observe another possibility for this apocalypse to be overwritten. Observe another possibility. How do we do that?
Build a crowd, then defeat Asat Pramad in front of them. That's the easiest way. But I'll just create hundreds of clones to hide behind, and no one will be able to lay a finger on him. That's another of his tricks by manipulating possibilities.
So we don't actually have any way of defeating that old dice head.
Who says we're out of options? If we somehow witness all his possibilities, then he would collapse into just one being due to the effect of observation. I will activate the formation plume I've set up all over the Arcadia, then use the vision of the Rainbow Spiritus Kalachakra Sky Plume.
General, do you require my cooperation like during SparksyCon?
Each reading drives the murky future towards a definite outcome, a collapsed quantum state, even if that outcome isn't to one's liking. The Eye of Ishvara would transcend mere sight and permeate throughout this realm. The Kalachakra Sky Plume would predict the future of all beings at tens of billions of instances per second. That's right, Mr. Sunday. I would like you to expand the range of your tuning.
You mean to determine the future of Asat Pramad through observation? But, as I recall, as your observation expands, it will anchor the fate of this world.
Observation is for her to worry about. I want you to become my eyes and look for me. The fate Asat Pramad imaginated is imminent, and there is no path for the future in it. Only Ishvara, only observers with sufficient strength and personal freedom have what it takes to make choices that trace the path to our future. I also need a place with a good vantage point. Something like a towering structure.
How confident are you in this plan succeeding, General?
Even if the chance of success is only a coin toss, once I enter the fray myself, I always treat it as a 100% certainty.
I'll fight by your side too. Even if there is only half a chance of success.
I will do all I can to ensure you two remain connected through tuning.
Then, Dan Heng, March, and I will clear the passages as soon as possible to ensure the Express can depart.
And myself, Shi, and General Yao Guang will force the collapse of Asat Pramad's clones, granting us a way to his true form.
Thank you, Sunday. Before you boarded the Express, you said that you didn't understand trailblazing. And yet, you have fought alongside us in the most dangerous moments of our journey.
No, Mr. Yang. I should be the one thanking all of you. Before boarding the Express, I was just a traveler looking for answers. You all taught me to trailblaze and walk the stars, to hold fast to the hands of those around me when facing difficulties. It is my honor to be able to provide assistance.
You really look like one of the Nameless now.
Thank you too, General Yao Guang. The Express will meet you as soon as we rescue Himiko.
And that's when we'll defeat Asat Pramod together.
And when we do bring Himiko home, each and every one of us will be accounted for as well.
Deは、お二人を調律でつなぐために全力を尽かしましょう。
決まったようだな。それじゃあ俺と炭鉱、ナノカはできるだけ早くトンネルの瓦礫を撤去して列車の通り道を確保しよ
う。では私と彼女、そして高校将軍の3人で鬼弱の分身を収束させ本体を特定するとしましょ
う。サンデーさん、君は列車に乗る前まだ開拓を理解できていないと言っていたが、ここまでの旅の間最も危険な局面でいつも俺たちと共に戦ってくれていた。ありがとう。
いいえ、ベルトさん。お礼を言わなくてはいけないのは私の方です。列車に乗る以前の私はただ答えを探すばかりの旅人でした。ですが私は皆さんから教わりました。彼方にある星々を追いかけるばかりが開拓ではなく、目の前の仲間の手を取り足元の困難を共に乗り越えていくこともまたかけがえのない開拓の一つなのだと。皆さんのお役に立てる、それは私にとって光栄なことなのです。
いつの間にか随分七死人らしくなったようだな。
高校将軍の協力に感謝する。姫子さんを無事に助け出せたらすぐに列車もそちらと合流しよ
う。そしたらみんなで鬼弱をぶっ飛ばそう。
うん、姫子とみんな揃って一緒に帰ろう。たとえ成功率がほんのわずかしかなくても私はあんたと一緒に戦う。
まだ少し時間はあるし、みんなに挨拶してきたらどうかしら。私は入り口のところで待っておくから、準備ができたら来てちょうだい。
You still have time. Go and say your goodbyes to your friends before we set off. Meet me at the entrance when you're ready.
The young woman's eyes burn with fiery determination, for the path she is to traverse soon leads straight into the eye of the storm.
Off to save the world again, Nameless? Be sure to return in one piece. I'm staying to help your friends dig out the Express. Go on. I'll take care of everything here.
The young woman's eyes burn with fire.
Off to save the world again, Nameless? Don't you worry, not even a rat will be able to find a way in here. You focus on destroying that dice-headed scum's lair. Go on. I'll take care of everything here.
少女の瞳には燃え上がる炎のような決意が灯っている。彼女は今まさに嵐の中心へ続く道へ踏み出したのだ。
また世界を救いに行くのかい、七死人。無事に帰ってきてくれよ。いや、僕は残る。ここでお友達が列車を掘り出すのを手伝うさ。心配ご無用。こっちは僕に任せてくれ。少女、また世界ネズミ一匹通さないから安心しな。オタクはあのサイコロ野郎のねぐらをひっくり返すことだけ考えてればいい。
そろそろ出立か。気をつけろ、死ぬなよ。
じゃあ行ってくるね。
そろそろ出立。
あ、今のなし。いや、死ぬのはダメだけど、まあいいや。じゃあ行ってくるね。
I knew you were leaving soon. Take care. Don't lose your life.
I'm off. See you later.
I knew you were
Wait, no! That doesn't sound... Just forget it. I'm off.
Why do you look like that? What's happening? Is it bad? The little Furbos and I will be here waiting to hear the story of how you claimed victory over Asat Pramod. Don't forget.
Boss, you absolutely must win! We'll be waiting to shoot your victory cover!
I've already sent out the press release. Just waiting to fill in the time and location of the victory.
Oh, winner, winner! Boss is definitely winning!
おや、その顔はこれから大仕事に向かうところと見た。私とタヌキたちはここで君の帰りを待ってるよ。君がどんな風に鬼弱を蹴っ飛ばして大勝利をつかみ取ったか、新たな伝説を聞かせてもらうのを楽しみにしてるからね。
社長、絶対に勝ってください、ピポ。僕たち社長の勇姿を表紙にできるのを待ってます、ピポ。
社長の大勝利を伝える記事はもう書き上がってるんだよ。あとは勝利の日時と場所を入れれば完成だな。勝てるの。社長さんならきっと勝ってくれるはずの。
おや、私とタヌキと
社長の大勝利を伝える記事は勝てるの。
視聴者のみんな、
もう準備はいい？出発の前に君に託したいものがあるの。はい、この金体を受け取って。君が遵守を必要とした時にはおのずとそれを開けることになるでしょう。 私たちの未来、その運命よ。火花大会の時、私の上に吉祥札を見たこと、まだ覚えてる？
覚えてる。なるべくあんたの頭の上は見ないようにするから。
いいえ、お願いしたいのはその反対のことよ。今回はできる限り私から目を離さないようにしてほしいの。30年前、実法光栄北海で宝庫の戦局を占った時のことよ。一時のおごりにとらわれた私は天の示しを受け入れず、低級の異例を用いて因果の改ざんを試みた。その報いは実に容赦なくてね。あの日以来、私は法人のある一点と絡み合い、時空の中を揺られ続けることになってしまった。医師はこの奇病に自走乖離なんて名前を付けていたかしら。簡単に言えば、私という存在はいつどの瞬間であってもその場から消えてしまう可能性があるということよ。注意深く観測していなければ、気づいた時には私はもうその場から消えているかもしれないの。一応玉殿の構造紙で作ってもらった天地玉釉で縛ってはいるけど、効果のほどはまあいい時も悪い時もあるってところね。ここからの行動には一つのミスも許されない。だからどうか私から目を離さないで。その結果、私の運命が今日に定まったとしてもね。この世界に足を踏み入れた瞬間、私はもう自分の運命を選び取っているのよ。君はそれを見届けるだけでいい。選んだのは君じゃないから。ここからの行動には一つの
We can't afford a single mistake in this operation. You must keep an eye on me always, no matter the fate that I'm anchored to.
A will of metal and stone.
Will of preservation.
Mr. Sunday?
My birds will be keeping an eye on you both.
I'll give you a signal from atop the tower. Let's go. Let's eliminate all of Asat Hamad's possibilities.
Sunday さん、
私の鳥は常にお二人を見守っていますよ。
塔の上まで登ったら合図するから。じゃあ貴弱の無数の可能性を潰しに出発よ。
とかけたんだよ。俺らもかけるか。姫子はまだ生きてるか死んでるか。
運命をもてあそんでいるつもりの人ほど運命にもてあそばれるの。貴弱、君の優越は愚の骨頂よ。
主人公は人土時代から生きる古の巨獣へ果敢に立ち向かう。だが彼女が手にした武器はあろうことか二層楽園では実にありふれた雰囲気作りの道具でしかなかった。だから言っただろう、彼女は盛り上げ上手なんだって。さてお待ちかねの前座がいよいよ開幕。どうぞご覧あれ。主人公 VS 大怪獣だ。
That thing over there. What is that?
I've seen it at Starrail Fest. Likely a device that collects people's wish power.
She has courageously challenged an ancient Leviathan of the Sindirth Age. And her chosen weapon is a standard plain Arcadian ambience prop. As I said, she is peak entertainment! At last, the long-awaited prelude. Monster versus protagonist.
I'm sick of this guy's trifling gimmicks. Keep it together. Remember our plan.
trouble keeping up with me. This is my chance.
We're here. Get ready, Sunday.
Careful. Asat Pramod just appeared above you.
Smart of you to lead a Xianzhou general to her death. How honorable and entertaining it would be to challenge the Demon Lord and save the world alone. But yes, two is better than one. Still, I was not expecting a diviner. To think I should have the honor of meeting the divine foresight, Bane of Ventilia. What can she do for you? Reveal your victory odds? Predict your weal and woe? Whatever she divines, I will block its path. What will you do now?
Then I, a diviner that never grants an audience to anyone, will teach you a lesson. Asat Pramod, a general and a diviner have completely different duties. A general breaks formations from behind, and a diviner destroys them from the front. And did you say you will block every path I divine? Sorry, but creating paths where there are none is the expertise of trailblazers. Now, shall I read your fortune? See your myriad possibilities condense until eventually only one remains. Defeat.
The rainbow surveys the heavens, perceiving 1,000 forms. Across the meridians of destiny, the Jade Abacus reveals its script. The celestial eye opens and shuts as calamity and fortune reveal themselves.
I see it.
So this insight is what the Eye of the Hunt has to offer.
Good. I see it too.
Hassab Pramod, your fate is sealed.
What a brilliant reversal! Now, this is the resistance I have been looking for. Exhausting all possibilities. Plotting every scheme. Just hurling everything at me. In short, elation! How unfortunate that this coming perfect apocalypse will not be seen by you, General Yao Guang. I see the rope that tethered your existence here has snapped. I do not believe we will meet again in this lifetime.
I have nothing left to give. Ishvara, please, take Asat Pramod to his fated defeat.
General!
Pity. You were so close. She put her life on the line for you to have this sliver of a chance. Just like Himiko. Don't let their sacrifices come to nothing. You know, protagonist, it's actually heartbreaking that those clones are gone. But she did deliver you here to me. It's time for a veteran navigator to point the way forward for you.
The Phantom Moon courtyard?
A terrifying enemy is near, but you stand alone, helpless. How often have you been in such a predicament, protagonist? This is how trailblazing expeditions always end, no? Don't worry. As the former navigator myself, I may provide you with some instruction. Just as Akivili instructed me, and I instructed Falcon Amundsen. Perhaps instruction is too formal a word. Young people these days can't stand such formality. How about we make it a bit friendlier? You quiz me instead. Next, you can ask me questions. 8 of them. About me. About Aha. About Akivili. About the future of the cosmos. About you, even. I'll answer anything you ask. Because once 8 questions are done, you're dead. Did you forget? We are the only 2 supplicants with a chance of winning the Phantom Moon Games. Because the die happened to land on 8. Because there are 8 supplicants in the games. Or perhaps Because we first met in Amphorius. Another 8! You're not interested in stories and secrets? That's unfortunate. Of course, this universe also has a button reserved for you. But let me remind you, this is the last time we will speak so openly.
Is this guy actually serious? Himiko hasn't escaped yet. And there's no news from the Express. I should try to delay him for as long as possible if we want to have any chance of winning. Why would I believe a Lord Ravager?
Looks like you're not so opposed to my offer either. How about we add a wild card to this boring trivia game then? Give your answers to the die you're holding. Roll the die. If your roll is a critical success, you get to uncover my deepest secret. I will answer every question, even if it works against me. I still answer, but only in half-truths. It shouldn't pose any problem for our protagonist. You can effortlessly distinguish truth from deception. I'll share a candid truth, though it won't necessarily be the whole truth. Did General Yao Guang bind me just now? You should really trust her strength. Besides, it's been a long time since I've just offered myself up to the chessboard of fate. How exciting to have every outcome based on pure probability. Now, let's get started.
「恐るべき敵を前に孤立無縁」こんな絶体絶命の窮地を何度くぐり抜けてきたんだ主人公だよな開拓の旅ってのはなんだかんだいつもこうなるだが安心しろ元ナビゲーターの俺がアドバイスしてやるからかつてアキビリが俺を導いたようにそして俺がファルケン・アムンゼンを導いた時のようにおっとまずい今時の若者に偉そうにアドバイスなんて言うとあんま受けが良くないんだったなもっとフラットなやり方でゲーム形式にするってのはどうだ俺に質問するチャンスをやる全部で8回俺についてアッハについてアキビリについて銀河の未来についてあんた自身について何でもいい答えてやろう8回答え終わった後あんたを殺すからさ忘れたのか今回の幻月遊戯の優勝候補はもう俺らしかいないってこと何気なく振ったサイコロの目が8だったから幻月遊戯の生越者が全部で8人だからあと俺があんたを初めて見たのがオンパロスだったから ほら、あれの形もある意味8だろ物語や秘密に興味ないのか？そりゃ残念。まあそれでも構わないさ。宇宙はそういうあんたのためにボタンをちゃんと用意してくれてるしな。だが忠告しとこう。こんな風に腹の底を探れる機会はもう二度と来ないぞ。
こいつ本気なの？姫子はまだ脱出できてないし、列車からの連絡もない。ここはできるだけ時間を稼いで機を待つべきだよね。絶滅大君の言うことを信じろっていうの？
なんだ、乗り気になってくれたか。ならゲームが退屈にならないよう少し変数を加えよう。答えをサイコロに委ねるってのはどうだ？サイコロを振って運よく大成功を出せたら俺のとっておきの秘密を教えてやるよ。包み隠さず全てに答える。自分に不利なことでも何でもだ。それでも答えてやるさ。ただし嘘も混ぜる。賢い主人公のあんたならどれが真実でどれが嘘かすぐ見抜けるだろうがな。嘘なしで答える。だがそれが完全な真実とは限らない。おいおい、ついさっきあの高校将軍が俺をがっちり縛り上げたのを見てたろまさか仲間の腕がそんなに信用できないのか？それに俺だってこれほど無防備に自分を運命の盤面に乗せるのは随分久しぶりなんだ。純粋な確率で結果が決まる。こんな刺激的な機会そうそうない。まさにエキサイティングってやつだ。さあ始めるとしよ
う。何を聞こ
う。今この瞬間無限の可能性の中で数えきれないほどのあんたが俺に無数の質問を投げかけてる。別に不思議なことじゃない。運命や宇宙を前にした時無限の疑問を抱くのが人間ってやつだ。問いと答えこそが俺らを形作ってきた。迷う必要はない。今この瞬間一番気になってることを聞けばいい。
キジャクは恋をしたことある？
は？
ごめん、でも気になって。恋をしたことはある？
列車の先輩で元ナビゲーターに質問できる貴重なチャンスをこともあろうに人の色恋を聞くことに使うのか？本当に愉快なやつだな。面白すぎてこのゲームから降りてやろうかと思ったくらいだ。
じゃあサイコロを振るよ。
待て、まだ振るな。万が一大成功が出た時個人の感情が絡んだ答えにどう宇宙の運命の皮肉をねじ込めばいいかまるで見当がつかない。もういい。この質問はサービスだ。何もひねらず答えてやろう。愛したことはある。当然だ。誰かを愛したことくらいある。だが結局その元恋人たちがいた星はどれも俺が滅ぼしたがな。別れたからじゃない。相手のことは好きだった。 だがそれよりも今の仕事を選んだってだけだ。ちゃんと話し合ったし、彼女たちも文句を言わなかった。最後は円満だったさ。さて、もう次はないぞ。この手の質問をまだたくさん隠し持ってて躊躇なくぶつける気かもしれないが、先に言っておく。二度とこういう質問はすな。
What do I ask?
Right now, among infinite possibilities, countless versions of you are asking me endless questions. Not strange at all. Faced with fate and the universe, people have endless questions. It's asking and answering that make us who we are. Don't hold back. Go ahead and ask your most pressing question right now.
Mr. Asat Pramad, have you ever been in love?
What did you just say?
Sorry, but I'm really curious. Have you ever fallen in love?
You have this rare opportunity to speak to a former navigator, and you're interested in his personal life? You really are something else. So intriguing. I almost want to throw in the towel and bow out.
So, I should roll?
Wait, not yet. Don't roll. If you roll a critical success, I honestly have no idea how I'm supposed to weave a sharp jab at cosmic destiny into something about personal emotions. So be it. This one's on me. I'll answer you plainly. I've loved. Of course, I've loved before. But in the end, every planet tied to my past lovers, I destroyed them all. Not because we broke up. I genuinely cared for them. I just like what I do now even more. Feels good to get that off my shoulders. They have no complaints either. Whew. All right. This won't happen again. Maybe you still have a lot of questions like this. Maybe you'll just ask them directly. But let me make it clear. I don't want to see such questions again.
I once met my other self in Amphorius. Who was that?
Oh, this is a most interesting discovery. Might you also possess the gift of grasping possibility? Unfortunately, even I do not know the answer to that question. It's beyond what I can see and understand at present. To make amends, this question won't count against you.
オンパロスでもう一人の自分を見たんだけど、あれが誰か知ってる？
へえ、これまた驚いたな。もしやあんたにも可能性に触れる添付があるのか？残念だがその答えは俺にも見えない。今の俺が観測して理解できる範疇を超えてる。お詫びに今の質問はサービスってことにしとこう。
I've always been curious. Since the Stellaron hunters also see possibilities, do you know what they're truly working toward?
Of course you know the answer. Elio. An existence that can see the branching of possibilities. The Stellaron hunters operate under his guidance. Their goal is clear: to collect or interfere with specific Stellarons to shape the future they desire. A future in which more lives are saved during great calamities, perhaps. Or a future where they can fulfill their personal wishes. They are the editors of fate, even if their motives remain a mystery. 7 questions left.
I want to know how Yao Guang and Evanesia are doing.
I can tell you care a lot about them. As you should. After all, they both bet everything on you. But, as is customary, I can only answer one question at a time. Who do you pick? She is the avatar of the abundant Elwood. Even if the world ended, she would not be affected. What you should worry about is whether she will still be the Evanesia you know when she wakes up again. Do you really have the time to worry about others? You should be thinking hard about what you're going to do next. You may ask 6 more questions.
I'm sure it's nothing to you. But do you mind explaining how to defeat you?
Understandable. I've met a lot of people who love coming at me, yelling their slogans. Hope, justice. But you would rather know all the strategies to beat the devil. Don't worry. My answer won't disappoint you. But of course, you'll have to roll the die first. The way to defeat me is right in front of you. Inside you, in fact. It's the Stellaron. All this time, you've been traveling in a limited and ridiculous human form. You're trapped within a lie called the Trailblaze, dreaming you are a courageous human. You can't defeat me in this state. But if you do what you did against Full Wish, open it to this world, to those cowards trembling in the ruins, to the audience waiting for a hero to save them, the surge of wish power will fully awaken it. And in that moment, you can easily seize your victory. 5 left now.
About the Stellaron inside of me. How much do you know?
interesting. Allow me to attempt to answer this difficult question. I examined the Stellaron inside your body. It's not a seed of ruin in the usual sense. It was a seed bestowed on you by Shipe, yet branded with the imprint of the Trailblaze. Shipe constantly tries to assimilate all things into one, while Akivili constantly creates new variations. These two forces repel each other, but in your body they have achieved a dangerous equilibrium. And your body, it seems to have been created for just this purpose, and it conceals a secret inside it. The Stellaron hunters likely understand this better than I do. 4 questions left. Keep going.
Since you're open to answering anything, let's talk about the Lord Ravager's weaknesses.
The Lord Ravager's weaknesses? How greedy, child. You just asked 7 questions at once. You failed. And even if you'd succeeded, so what? The Lord Ravager's weaknesses? Knowing wouldn't make a difference. Zephyro is scared of the dark. Archforger has social anxiety. Selenova is tone deaf, and Fantilia has trouble choosing. Does this help you at all? You may still ask me 3 more questions.
Someone said there are 4 paths that will bring the apocalypse to the universe. Destruction, harmony, and nihility. What is the last remaining path?
Your questions would leave even Noose completely stumped. But I will answer them, even though I can only offer my humble opinion. Up to you if you believe me or not. Now, roll the die. You're not rolling well. But that won't stop me from telling you my opinion. The 4th path that will bring about the apocalypse is the preservation. Of course, it doesn't sound logical if the purpose of the preservation is to sustain the existence of the universe itself. So, they probably went a step too far. No, it shouldn't be they, but all of them, rather. All the gods who created and sustained the paths of the universe. They define the boundaries, deciding which will become reality and which will be erased. And within that grand order, woven by the gods, a paradox had long been planted. An unforeseeable ending. One even Noose, the omniscient god, failed to foresee. When every variable is fixed by the path, the unseen and forever unseeable unknown begins to grow quietly at the edge of all rules, fated to become the end. So, what brought the 4th finality was not a specific path, but all paths themselves. It was the gods themselves who, in the name of creation and existence, carved out an inescapable finale with their own hands. Only 2 questions left.
Can you tell me the real truth about the Phantasmoon games?
I bet you figured it out long ago, didn't you? Oh, critical success. Then perhaps I should clear things up a bit more. Across countless generations, the supplicant's wish power has gathered here, coursing through the abundant Elwood into the veins of the path. It soothes the ever-starving husk and keeps it from rising again. People believe the supplicant's miracle was created to please Aha, but this is wrong. People believe the markings around the mask measure how much wish power each supplicant has gathered. But they're wrong. Those markings are telling everyone this. If you want to lull the veracity into sleep, you must fill them. Only when the hunger and thirst of the slumbering beast are satiated with wish power can the beings of Ahatopia struggle on into the next Amber Era. And then Aha will appear to reward this savior by sharing 1 minute of their life. Everyone is envious of the infinite power of the Eons and their eternal life. But who can comprehend their suffering on those paths? Bound by their own authority, becoming unfeeling instruments of the law. Even a god as close to humanity as elation. For humans, the prize of these games lasts for only a fleeting minute. But for an eon, it's a free and blissful reprieve from the shackles of their path. Do you understand now? The Phantasmoon games are a holiday for a god. Only during such a respite can elation, vulnerable and unguarded, be killed. Final question. Think carefully. What do you want to ask?
There's something I've thought about from the start.
オンパロスでもう一人の自分を見たんだけど、あれが誰か知ってる？
お詫びに今の質問はサービスってことにしとこ
う。ずっと気になってたんだけど、性格ハンターってあんたと同じで可能性を見通してるんだよね。じゃあその目的って何なの？
その答えならあんたも知ってるだろう。エリオは可能性の分岐を覗き見ることができる存在だ。性格ハンターはその導きに従って行動していて、明確な目標も持ってる。特定の性格を回収あるいは干渉することで奴らの望む未来を作るっていう目標をな。それは巨大な災厄からより大勢を守る未来かもしれないし、個人的な願いを叶える未来かもしれない。動機は謎だが、言うなれば運命の修正者ってところだな。質問はあと7回。
コウコウと比叡は今どうなってるの？
かなり心配してるようだな。それもそうか。 何せあいつらはあんたに全ての希望を託したんだから。成功か。だがルールじゃ俺が一度に答える質問は一つだけだ。さあ選べ。彼女は北条の親睦の化身なわけだし、たとえ世界が壊滅したところでどうこうなるわけじゃない。むしろ心配すべきは彼女が再び目覚めた時、果たしてあんたの知る彼女のままなのかってことだな。まったく他人の心配をしてる余裕があるのか。これからどうすべきかを考えた方がいいと思うぞ。あと6回聞けるぞ。
あんたの倒し方を教えてくれない？まさか拒否ったりしないよね？
至極まっとうな質問だな。希望だの正義だのを叫びながら無鉄砲に突っ込んでくる奴らにはよく会ってきたが、あんたは攻略を見てから魔王に挑むのが好きなタイプのようだ。安心しろ、期待には応えてやるさ。もちろんサイコロの結果次第だがな。俺を倒す方法はすぐ目の前、あんたの中に隠されてる。性格だ。これまでずっとあんたは滑稽な人間の姿という縛りがある中で旅をしてきた。いいか、あんたは開拓という名の嘘にとらわれ勇敢な人間だっていう夢を見てるだけなんだ。そんな姿のままじゃ俺を倒すことなんてできやしない。よく聞け。あのマンガンと戦った時のように、この世界に廃墟に隠れて震えてるだけの臆病者や勇者が世界を救うのを待ってるだけの観客たちに向けて性格を解放しろ。そうすれば押し寄せる眼力が性格を完全に覚醒させるはずだ。その瞬間、あんたはあっさり勝利を手にできる。さて、質問はあと5回だ。
私の中にある性格について何か知ってることはある？
面白い。ならその難題に俺なりの答えを出してやろう。あんたの中にある性格を調べたところ、一般的な意味での災いの種とは違うようだ。それはシペが授けた種だというのに開拓の軌跡が刻まれてる。シペは万物を一つに同化させようとするが、アキビリは絶えず新たな才を見出す。相反するこの二つの力があんたの体内で危ういバランスを保ってるんだ。で、あんたの体はどうやらその目的のために作られたものらしい。そこに隠された秘密は俺よりも性格ハンターの方が詳しいだろう。質問は残り4回続けよ。質問は残り4回続けよ。
何でも答えるんだよね。じゃあ絶滅体育の弱点を教えて。
絶滅体育の弱点？欲張りだな。一気に7人も質問するとは。失敗か。だが成功したところでどうなる？絶滅体育の弱点、それしか意味ないだろう。風縁が暗闇が怖くて、中央はコミショ、聖書は音痴で言動は優柔不断。これ何の役に立つってんだ。あと3回だ。
宇宙を終末へ導く4つの運命、そのうち3つは壊滅、調和、今日だって誰かが言ってた。残りの1つをあんたは知ってる？
とんでもないこと聞くな。ブルースだって年の答えを持ってるか怪しいって何。まあ安心しろ、ちゃんと答えてやるさ。俺の勝手な考えではあるがな。信じるかどうかはあんた次第だ。さあ、まずはサイコロを振ってくれ。でねは悪いが、俺の考えを教えてやろう。終末を出す第4の運命は孫悟だ。もちろん矛盾してるさ。もし孫悟の責任が宇宙の存在を維持することだとしたら、明らかにそうやりすぎてる。いや、そうじゃなくて空と言った方がいいな。宇宙の運命を創造し維持する全ての神々、境界を定め、何が真実で何が消されるべきかを決める空はどいつもそうだ。神々によって紡がれた壮大な秩序の中には、ヌースでさえ予見できなかったパラドックスがずっと昔から潜んでいた。全知の神は自らが予見できない結末を見ることはできない。全ての変数が運命によって固定され、まだ見ぬ道、そして永遠に見ることのない道が全てのルールの果てで静かに芽生え、定められた終末となる。つまり第4の終焉をもたらすのは特定の運命じゃなく、運命そのものだ。神々が創造と存在の名のもとに自らの手で逃れられない結末を定めたってわけさ。チャンスはあと2回しかないぞ。
現実勇気って一体何なの？
とっくに予想はついているかな。お、大成功か。ならもう少しはっきり言ってやろう。幾世の成立者たちが眼力を集め、放射の親睦を通じて運命の葉脈へと注いできた。それは永遠に飢える獣の抜け殻を沈め、目覚めないようにするためだ。成立者が奇跡を起こすのは悪化を監視するためだと思われてるが、それは違う。 仮面の周りをぐるっと回ってる思いが聖地しばし集めた感じだと思われてるが、それも違う。あれは警告だ。貪欲を眠らせておくが、その思いを満たさないといけないっていう。眠る獣の怪我が眼力で上を乱すことで、アハとピアの命ある者は次の琥珀機を生き抜くことができる。そしてアッハは世界を救った褒美を与えるんだ。神の命を1分間分け与えるっていう報酬をな。誰も愛用の無尽蔵の力と永遠の命を奪えるな。だが、誰に理解できるだろうな。運命の道をかける空の苦しみを、自らの権能に縛られ、無情な法則の機械と化してしまったことを。たとえ、優越のように人間に近い神であっても、それは同じだ。この遊戯の報酬は、人間にとってはつかの間の1分。だがアイオンにとっては、運命の重荷から逃れ、自由に過ごせる解釈法みたいなもんなのさ。これで分かった。円月遊戯は、神の休日だ。そしてその休日の間だけ、もろく無防備になった憂鬱を殺せる可能性が生まれる。これで最後だ。何を聞くか決まったか？
最初からこれを聞くって決めてた。